Tell me if this sounds even remotely familiar. You've jumped into a game of Crucible with very little expectations. You just wanted to fuss about with some new perk combination or Lost Sector exotic. But 2 minutes into your first match and you remember why you have started avoiding Crucible more than before. You are not having fun. In fact, you are having unfun. You aren't even impassioned with an anger that is looking for vindication, like finally killing that sniper who's been making your day worse. You just despise your current position, nay, your series of decisions that led you to queuing into Crucible. To be clear, we do not revel in this feeling. We do not want you to have this feeling, nor do any of the people working in Bungie Studios. But this feeling has, unfortunately, become more commonplace, and I would like to offer you a solution. We talked about in our last Stupid Builds video how community can make the game. In fact, how often do you find yourself forgoing a session of gaming because you saw you had no friends on to join you? Once this video is finished and you've done all the things we would like for you to do, such as liking and subscribing, join our Discord. Ping our LFG for a Fight Forever lobby. In fact, we are streaming on our Twitch right now if you are early enough to the video. The games you are seeing here are from these Fight Forever lobbies if you aren't sure what it looks like. I will leave a link in the pinned comments. Anyways, back to your regularly scheduled bullet hosing. Welcome to Stupid Builds, where I will show you some stupid builds. Some of these builds are our own creation, some are from our live stream chat, but all of them are stupid because of how strong they secretly are. Oh no, here it comes. Can you hear them? The cries of the damned. Their echo reverberates my soul. Why do they scream? The Fioratura 59. A sidearm so deplorably strong in this season that it might as well be plated in gold because it feels like an exotic. Yes, normally when we talk about builds, we talk about exotics as they are the easiest to understand and to acquire, but today I need to flex on some poor people and show off something only a few people have the privilege of experiencing. Dodge, seek, kill, repeat. A loop as old as destiny itself, but today it's made 3 shades dumber. Why? Kill clips, Zen moment, ricochet rounds, and the artifact mods. Sidearms are the best non-special close-range Guardian deleter since the Traveler invented pre-nerfed Shadow Dive. A headshot time to kill of 0.67 and a body shot time to kill of 0.9. This weapon is both lethal and forgiving, requiring only 2/3 of your shots to be a crit, with kill clip dropping these numbers even further. But we never stop at good enough. We need every person in the lobby to fear us. We are a plague and we need to spread violently. Naysayers and doubters will become collateral damage. Gurfalcon's Hallberg, a tried and true companion of the Dark Brotherhood brand of Destiny Hunter mains. Volatile after leaving invisibility is of course neat, and the pretty colors make my frontal cortex happy. But every hunter worth their light knows you don't use it for the explosions. Stylish Executioner and Vanishing Step complete a loop of in and out, gank and escape. Kill Clip readies us for future encounters, and Zen Moment is our insurance policy. For this build, use Echo of Persistence for increased stanky ganky time, Dilation for a crutch on your game sense, Starvation for Devour, and Undermining for the opportunity to loop out stylish executions on grenades. One of the above may stand out to you as an odd choice. Starvation. Why try to play around Devour? Sure, we can use Reaper on our class item to get a kill, but that's not new enough of an idea to warrant all this pomp and circumstance. It's not like we have a seasonal artifact that gives us void breaches, that gives us a void overshield, and oh dear god, they're dead. They're all dead. Starvation may not have any immediate value, but if you have your artifact mod specialized for void buffs and debuffs, you will quickly realize, like I did from the livestream chatter that gave me this build, that I can guarantee all of my kills with this weapon will grant me 3 different buffs at once on top of any buffs coming from my subclass. And yes, you can see that we are pairing this beautifully with the Forerunner. The range this hand cannon with an identity crisis can offer will play like a beautiful orchestra to the biblically accurate ass-kicking your foes will receive. Dodge, kill, reload, collect, repeat. Make this your anthem and the lobby will tremble. I give this build 1 Grimace Shake out of 1 Grimace Shake. Wow, a perfect score, but only for a limited time. 66% of you have a Predator missile rapidly approaching your location! Save yourself! Hit subscribe! Try to keep up with me for a minute. Huckleberry. Funny. Explosions. Funny. Together. Side-splitting. Huckleberry sits in this odd spot of not quite being one of the best SMGs on the market, but also being an extremely reliable and possibly more powerful option if given the right circumstances. This build tried to provide those murderous circumstances by giving us the kinetic catalyst of remote corpse detonation, the chromatic fire, and a solar warlock. Aggressively position yourself in the close-quarter combat space of your enemies. Pin the trigger, and don't stop pinning the trigger until either you or everything in front of you is dead. I won't sugarcoat you on this, however. I had some difficulty in getting the value I wanted out of this build. The enemy team had, dare I say it, far better gaming chairs, which didn't help my efforts, but even despite my constant visit to the spawn point, I still held my ground. Somewhat. The biggest thing holding this build back was a lack of staying power. I could set myself up with healing grenades and the like, but that comes up so few and far between it's barely worth my time. Not to mention I would have to give up my area-denying grenades, which is like asking me to give up my left arm. I ran this with a sniper, and I will be the first to admit that my sniper skills are, well, calculated, but unfortunately I am bad at math. More than anything, as I tried to scramble to find a niche for this build, I realized just how power-crept the Huckleberry really is. It wouldn't quite be the same, but it would be relatively easy to imitate this build by simply finding a subsistence incandescent solar SMG. 2 Zavala's bald heads out of 8 Ikora's shaved heads. When I think of grenade builds, I assure you the Titans aren't the first that come to mind. Many seem to have forgotten about the Ashen Wake, the exotic Titan gauntlets that cause your solar fusion grenades to explode upon contact. I think this is likely due to these testicular torsion grenades getting a damage nerf, but with a burst damage weapon such as a high-impact sniper, a hand cannon, or a bow, you can easily make up the difference. And because we are using both a bow and a hand cannon, we can easily give them a quick access swap combo at very little extra cost. If you stack enough dexterity mods, you can get kind of close to its old near instant swapping speed, but that's not why you run this build. You run this build to splash bandits like a mobile artillery strike. Be warned, if you do decide to give this eclectic setup a spin, the sudden change between the hit scan of your weapons to the projectile travel time of your grenade will require some adjusting. When the setup gets rolling, it is silly, but getting it to the silly can sometimes take a degree of theoretical physics. We ran this whole getup with both Roaring Flames and Sunspots. Fun fact, with 3 stacks of Roaring Flames, you can get your near-instant splash of Sunny D to one-shot even the tankiest of Guardians. Even funner fact... funner isn't a word, is it? Another fun fact is that your super will grant you these stacks of Roaring Flames on super kills. Set up your anthropomorphized AC-130 with as much grenade regeneration and benefit as you can get. I give this build 3 glasses of orange juice out of 2 Robin Hoods. If you've made it this far, you are either a fan or a doubter. If you are the latter, you know that liking sweet business is basically a requirement at this point. It's almost a rite of passage of making stupid builds. Some see these stupid builds and think they can outsmart me. Maybe. But I have yet to meet one that can outsmart a bullet. I have one simple goal. I want to use my sweet business to bake a cake, so I need its barrel to be hot. Hot enough that if I were to get close enough to someone, they would mistake the heat radiating off of it for a branding iron. In order to achieve maximum barrel heat, we need a lot of bullets. Like a long-lost sibling, welcome home, Actium War Rig. Using the Sentinel Titan's overshield regeneration skills, and simply existing with the Actium, we can both survive an unearthly amount of hate, and dish an unhealthy amount of hate. This is arguably the most Titan build in Destiny 2, and a Destiny 2 classic. You get about 17 consecutive seconds of completely turning off your brain and letting your weapon think for you. I ran this all together with a shotgun for close-quarter enemy dispatching, and of course a bubble for even more death and destruction to follow in my wake like I'm some sort of incarnate of the apocalypse. Spec your build for survivability and flinch resistance, and you will always find at least some sort of moniker of success. If you're struggling, it's likely because you aren't holding down the trigger hard enough. It's that simple. Subscribe for more weekly stupid builds. Bless your faces, and deuces.